Hello. So I want to give you an introduction and overview to Polar Technology Management Group, how it became what it is today, and how we're going to take this forward over the next few years. A bit about history and track record. Polar Technology Management Group was formed by myself and Scott Roberts, my business partner. We've been working together in business for over 19 years now, starting back where we met when we both worked at the Atomic Energy Authority at Harwell, and then progressed on to setting up a company called CTG in Banbury, which some of you may or may not be familiar with. This was an advanced composites manufacturing business. We ran that for 10 years and we grew that. We used the motorsport market to develop new technologies and then spun those technologies out into other wider, more industrial markets such as aerospace, energy, nuclear. Over that period of time, we grew the business up to around about 180 people, 12.5 million turnover. We had lots of long-term contracts, so multi-year contracts in aerospace, and became a critical supplier to some of the big aerospace companies, supplying parts to Airbus and Boeing via companies such as Goodrich. At that point, we were almost indispensable to Goodrich, and they felt they needed to make an offer for us. So we sold the business to Goodrich. That gave us a break in our careers where we had some time off, a chance to think about the future, what we were going to do next, and then we formed Polar Technology Management Group in 2012. The aim of that being to build a small group of advanced engineering businesses that we could run on a very enjoyable basis and grow and add more value to the advanced engineering sector. So in 2012 we acquired SS Tube Technology. We rebranded it as SST Technology. SS Tube Technology having strong implications of a tube manufacturer, whereas what we were was a manufacturer of advanced precision engineering and engineering solutions, not just for motorsport, not just tubular, but for a wider range of industries. 2013 we set up Lentus Composites from scratch, using some of our previous experience and contacts from the CTG days, and move forward. From that point on, we set up Horizon Properties. One of the key things when you're trying to grow a business and trying to grow a business rapidly is very quickly you become constrained by your own footprint and your own ability to expand your business. So we felt it was very important as a strategy to have control over that part of the business. Looking back at heritage, again, people have talked about big blue chip companies having a brand that they can go and sell. As SST Technology and Lentus, very new businesses, Polar Technology Management Group, a very new business. So how do we demonstrate to our customer base that we've got that knowledge and expertise in order to serve these larger opportunities? So a bit about heritage. We tend to use our previous experience almost like a personal CV rather than a company CV. A lot of the people that have joined us in our new business has worked with us previously. So you can look at the work we did in the aerospace industry. 30,000 parts produced, operating on 1,000 aircraft on 15 different platforms. We've got a lot of experience of developing those parts. Motor vehicle technology, 25,000 parts produced on 17,000 road vehicles. And with a really rapid production, product introduction. In the energy and nuclear sector, there's 250,000 parts out there. These are really, really critical precision components operating at very high speed for use in enriching nuclear fuels. Really, really specialist, but really, really tight constraints on the quality and controls. And then medical scientific, over 2 million components. And these are parts that, when they're built into an MRI scanner, they have to work. When they're built, the MRI scanners, the core of the magnet is cooled to 4 Kelvin. The things are welded shut. You can't get them out. They're non-serviceable items. It's not an option to have a failure. A bit about the structure. Our vision is to become a 60 million turnover engineering and technology group by 2025. Quite a big, ambitious target. But with that vision in mind, we can now look and plan ahead and say, what do we need to do now, next year, the year after, and the year after that to take us to that position? SST currently will turn over about 8 million. Lentus around about the same. Horizon Property again is a platform onto which to grow those businesses with the space and the footprint. Looking at SST as a business in its own right, the aim is to become a world-leading engineering-focused business using state-of-the-art facilities. Intellectual property is key. Excellence in people is key. and design and manufacture complex precision fabrications and thermal management systems. So we've got a really clear set of who are we, what do we do, where are we going. Specialise in precision manufacturing of fabrications and the technology to support the fabricated parts that we sell. So we're not just bringing in sheets of metal, bashing it around, making a shape. We're doing all the surround of that as well, machine components, additive layer manufactured parts and beyond. Target there to 30 million by 2025. Some of the processes, so you've got traditional processes like resistant welding, TIG welding, and then products that we've developed, Hydrolite. It's a lightweight hydroforming process. Hydroforming traditionally used in medium volume parts in serial production. We've developed a technique where we can use hydroforming in very low volume parts. Ceramic matrix composites, again, very high capital investment to make ceramic matrix composites. We've developed a very low cost, low barrier to entry process for making those parts. And then bringing in new technologies, 3D printing, 6-axis laser cutting, laser welding. So again, traditional fabrication business moving into the modern era, much more engineering driven, much more technology led. Similar story for Lentus. Again, investment in people, investment in technology, underpinning it with strong IPR. Some of the products there, you see prop shafts, pressure vessels, Olympic bikes, high-speed rotating machinery, energy storage flywheels. So again, very diverse portfolio, but using, again, advanced techniques, so filament winding, autoclave technology, which everyone's familiar with, out of autoclave processes. So again, you're looking at automation, making volume parts, reproducible parts, quality control. Processes there, as I've explained, very much vertically integrated. So we have every step in the manufacturing chain. So how do we use the motorsport development cycle to deliver this growth in the business? So core to our business, or all our businesses, is this motorsport development cycle, where we have the opportunity to very rapidly design, make and test, either in our laboratories where we can make parts and break parts, or on the circuit where we can make parts and hopefully break fewer parts. But all that data on that rapid cycle turnaround with low numbers of parts but high numbers of variants of parts gives us an opportunity to have an enormous database of material properties, performance of parts. We can then feed that out back into the other industries, the aerospace, the automotive, goes back out into those sectors where you can then look at your longer term durability testing, longer term environmental testing, and then feed that back in to benefit motorsport. So it's a continuous cycle of multi-directional, multi-technology process where there's a lot of sharing of technology across the sectors, but within a business and across the two companies. Complete end-to-end engineering. So as a small business, so many small businesses are just manufacturers, build to print. In order to get to where we want to be, we start with the concept, work right through to delivery. And any of our customers can approach us at any point in that chain. Looking at planning for the future, in order to deliver the growth, as I've mentioned, we need the footprint. So looking further ahead, we've acquired a 12-acre site off the back of our current factory, and we're developing that into a 240,000 square foot technology campus. The intention there to have ultimately on-site accommodation for graduates, apprentices, so we can really grow our business and not be dependent on, not just ride the waves of available resource, but actually drive the resources into our companies. Some nice pictures of what it's going to look like, which will be very, very nice and attract lots of people. Then I thought about going forwards. What kind of things do we look at? What kind of questions do we ask ourselves when we're looking at growing a business? So when presented with a continuous change, the first thing to do is put a plan in place. Without a plan, you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you can change your direction from. Define success. What does success look like to you and your business? So it's important for the leaders of the business to understand what success means to them, as well as what success looks like for the business. We always we have a rolling 5-year business plan. Some people say, oh, that's a long way out. But if you have a 5-year strategy, it kind of leads you through the next years to get there. Sales planning, we have a near-term plan. If you're going to build up a business plan and a budget, there's no point saying, oh, we'll aspire to supply to these people. The only people you can put in your next 18-month plan are people you know. Who are you going to talk to? What are you going to sell them? Because it takes time to convert these opportunities. Also have a budgetary planning process. You've got to have a really accurate plan for the following year. Who are you going to sell? What are you going to sell to who? How much are you going to spend on resources to deliver those sales, and how much profit are you aiming to deliver? That way you've got your business in control. You can put your key performance indicators on the shop floor in control so that everything works towards delivering your overall business plan. technology planning is very important, but technology planning really does have to be linked to your sales plan. Only develop what people want to buy. Don't do any vanity projects on R&D and development. It's got to be linked to what you can sell. And when you do develop those products, ensure they're differentiating products. Ensure you protect the IP and use the IP to protect your profits. You can use tax credits to reduce your tax burden. And as I've said, the motorsport technology and the motorsport industry forms that base of that diversified technology strategy. Always review your plans and respond to the changing environment, because one thing's for sure, everything will change. And make decisions. Be bold, be confident. Do not take too much time over your decision making, but when you do make a decision, always review it, because you can spend 6 months making a decision, coming up with a strategy. In that time, the environment's changed, and it might not prove to be the right decision. Don't blindly plough ahead. Stop, look, assess, and if as quickly as you make a decision, change that decision. Corporate experience of that is you spend 18 months persuading someone that you've made the right decision. By the time you've made the right decision, it's no longer the right decision, but the bloke at the top, you've told him, you've sold it to him, so you've got to carry on. In a small business, you can make quick decisions, maybe use the 80-20 rule. 80% right, assess it. If it's wrong, change it. Then you've got, that 80% is wrong, you can work on another 20% and apply the 80-20 to that, 80-20 to that. And by the time you go through the process, by the time you've done, sort of tweaked those decisions a few times, you end up with a pretty much 100% right decision in a much shorter timescale than if you'd spent 18 months gathering data and missing the point. And make time to do things right. How many companies make something, get it to the end of the production line, and it's wrong? And then you've always got time to remake it, but no one's ever got time to spend the time up front to make it properly, make it right. So don't squander your time by making things twice. Invest a little bit more time up front and make them right first time. And understand why customers buy from you. Understand, more importantly, why they may not. And another point, we've had some comments about Brexit in the EU. In my experience, over 20 years in business, no one's ever bought anything from us because we're in the EU. They bought something from us because they need it from us, because we've got a technology, we've got a product, and we've got a world-leading product that they need to buy. Embrace the change, because embrace change and plan for change. If you do nothing, things will change. So proactively engage with change, and exploit these opportunities, these discontinuities to your advantage. But most importantly, strive to be the best. Understand what being the best means, and aim for that. That's it.